Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Kyra and we love our makeup on this channel, but more importantly, we use our makeup, we love our makeup, and we track our makeup, and sometimes we even project pan our makeup. So today's video is my update for Project 10 Uses. I love this project because it's an easy way for me to rotate through my collection, certain products for certain seasons, and to get a good amount of use on it. 10 uses will really give you a better picture about what the product is, what it does, how you like to use it, and that's why I love this project. I do have a couple of housekeeping things to start with, and then we'll get right into the progress. I did bring over 4 items from my 2024 Project Pan. I realized that my projects were starting to get a little bit muddled in terms of goals for certain projects, and I had things going into my year-long project that I wanted to get 10 uses on, like foundations. I want to use all of my foundations at least 10 times this year. So I have rolled those items over into this project where it makes much more sense. I did declutter one product from this project. It was a duplicate in my collection and not a favorite formula for me, and that is the Ilia Multi-Stick in the shade At Last. Beautiful color, nice berry shade here, but I have this shade in a formula that I prefer over this one, and this one still has a lot of life left to it, so I'm sure that I can find a home for it. And then I also did roll out this eyeliner from L'Oreal. It's the Voluminous Smoldering Eyeliner. I like this eyeliner, but I don't want eyeliners in this project. Those are products that I use organically when I feel like I need them, and I don't like pressuring myself to use them just to use them. And actually, I have one more rollout. It's not going to be a declutter, but it's a product I'm just not finding myself using right now, and it's just taking up space in this project. It's a product that I think I will use or may consider in the future during a gentle declutter, but that is my Kevyn Aucoin Neo Bronzer in the shade Sienna. I do really like this product. I'm just not finding myself reaching for it right now. Maybe I will get more use out of it this fall when these are the types of tones that I'm seeking out. But for right now, I'm just gonna roll it out of the project. I rolled this in at the beginning of July and have not used it a single time since. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the products that I have progress on, but that are gonna be staying in for at least one more month. Starting with my Kulfi Heirloom Satin Lipstick. This is the shade Cadi's Kiss. It is a beautiful nude shade. I do really enjoy it. Currently, I have 8 uses on this, so it'll be rolling out within a day or two. I've really enjoyed using this lipstick. I will say that putting lip products in this project is a little bit more challenging for me because I like to rotate my lipstick as much, or lip products as much as I like to rotate my eyeshadow and my blush and things like that. So sometimes it can take me a while to get 10 uses on one lip product, but I'm very close on this one and it'll be rolling out soon. Next, I have my Maybelline single eyeshadow in the shade Nude Glow. I actually am forming a little dip in this guy, which I'm very happy about. It's a beautiful nude or rose gold type shade. It's a great one and done shadow, which is how I've used it multiple times. I currently have 7 uses on this, and like I said, you can kind of see there's a little dip forming there, so I'm happy about that. I don't roll single eyeshadows into this project very often, but this one just, you know, was kind of languishing, and I felt like it was a good time of year for this type of shade, so very happy about that. And that will be rolling out, I'm sure, before next month. Next, I have my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Elephant Palette. I have to say that I am a little disappointed in myself for falling for the FOMO of this palette. The colors in here are really just not right for me, and I'm not ready to declutter it yet. What I did with my other Hourglass palette like this, an older one, was that I mixed some of the shades together and put them in separate packaging to make them more usable for my skin tone. The problem with this is, like, for one, this bronzer is super duper warm and almost yellowy, so it's hard for me to use, especially right now as I'm already losing what little color I got during the summer. I don't love this blush right here. It reminds me a lot of NARS Orgasm because it has a lot of golden reflect, but not as much base pigment. It's a little bit better than the NARS version, but I just find for how much pigment I like to have on my cheeks, that's not always right for me either. And then this highlighter is one that I really can only use during the warmer months, otherwise it's just too dark. The way that I've been using this to get my 10 uses on it, in this project I just want 10 uses on a palette. When it comes to my 2024 project pan, I'm doing like 10 uses per shade to actually make some progress on each face palette that I roll in. But I have been using this finishing powder the most. I have used the highlight once. I have used this rose blush shade once, which this one is nice, but it's a little bit cooler tone. But I have used this powder 5 times, and so I have a total uses on this of 7. So that will be rolling out as well next month, I have no doubt. Because I do like the ambient lighting powders, I frequently use them to buff or finish off the cheeks. Let's talk about the things that rolled in or rolled over from the other project. One thing I have rolled in, I rolled this in the 19th of August. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek or Blush in the shade Growth Flirt. It's a beautiful reddish blush, and for whatever reason I'm majorly craving a red blush right now. Even though I don't typically wear red blush, I think I've just seen multiple red blushes on other people's videos in the last month or so, and it really had me intrigued. It had me literally hunting on Amazon for the perfect red blush, and then I was like, wait a minute, I have red blush. I have this. I have the shade Grapefruit from Laura Mercier, which is a straight up red blush. So I decided to roll this in and see if I can't scratch that red blush itch. But I only have one use on it so far. Next is kind of a twofer. I had already rolled in my Tower 28 Bronzino into this project because I finished my cream bronzer that I was working on in my 2024 project, and this is very old in my collection. It's the Bronzino in the shade West Coast. You can see I scrape mine out of here, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. But the thing about this one is it is incredibly shimmery. As you'll see, it's almost like a bronze highlighter. And so I was thinking, how can I make this more wearable so I can get my 10 uses on it? And what I ended up deciding was to put another product in here, which is my Sculptino from Tower 28, and this is in the shade Broad. And this is basically the non-shimmery version of the Bronzino. And so what I've been doing, and I am wearing it today, but I've literally been mixing them, scraping a little bit out of the Bronzino and a little bit out of the Sculptino, and get something that's a little less shimmery. And that is working beautifully. So on the Bronzino, I have 3 uses. And again, I rolled this in on August 19th, so I haven't had it in the project very long. And then I also rolled in the Sculptino on the 24th of August, and I have 2 uses on that one. So I'm glad to be getting use on these. These products, and especially Tower 28, I know they tend to expire pretty quickly. So I'm really excited to be working on both of those at the same time. They're gonna help me use each other and get some use on those. Next, I kind of rolled in another duo. I felt like right now would be a great time to roll in my Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso for the end of summer going into fall. I don't typically wear this alone. I will typically layer it over another blush, maybe a cream blush or a more neutral powder blush. I have combined this with another product in this project, which I'll talk about in a minute, but this is a beautiful blush. I did have the original Once Upon a Time, then I had decluttered it, and I think this is the new formulation / new packaging. And so far I have used it 2 times since putting it in on the 19th. So I'm happy with that. I'm excited to play with it more, and it really is helping support me in some of my No Pan Left Behind goals. I'll show you the palettes, specifically this palette, which is mostly what I have in my eyes today, the Juvia's Place Nubian 3 Coral palette. This blush is like made for this palette. I mean, can you? So I really enjoy pairing these two together. Again, I have Desert Lights in No Pan Left Behind right now. I also have Natasha Denona Bronze. Also, I have Avocado Toast in my Project Level Up. So definitely something that pairs well with my other goals for my collection currently for my palettes. And then I also, like I said, paired with another product that goes with the blush, and that is the Lip Plumper. And this one I'm just putting in obviously for 10 uses, but I have a feeling this will be the next one that I pan completely. I just finished the Soft Rose version of this, but I absolutely love this gloss. In fact, I'll put some on right now, and yes, I'm gonna count it. It's so perfect. It goes beautifully over a lot of lip colors. It has that sweet mint scent. It is not stinging or anything like that. It just feels like if you would get toothpaste on your lips when you're brushing your teeth. So I have that rolled in, and so far I've used it, well, now 3 times. So those guys are staying in, the blush and the lip gloss. And then the last 3 are ones that rolled over from my other project. Starting with the concealer, I'm currently working on getting 10 uses on my L'Oreal True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. I have the shade in 3, which says it's light medium, but there's no way. This is quite brightening on me. I put a dot of this on the inner part of my eyes, and then I take my deeper concealer from Maybelline that I'm panning and put that toward the outer part of the eye. But I so far have 4 uses on this. Again, this rolled in on the 19th of August, so that should be no problem to have that one rolling out by next month. And then I am liking to have 2 foundations in this project at a time, so that I have a couple of choices, but I am still working toward that goal of 10 uses on each product. This is the Urban Decay Face Bond. I do have the shade 12 Light Neutral. Not a favorite. I will say it is quite long lasting. However, you really have to prep your skin well for this. I put on my Embryolisse Lake Cream Concentrate primer first, and then I even went in with more primer. I used my e.l.f. little Power Grip primer for a little extra hydration, especially in areas where this can tend to accentuate texture. It also dries down really quickly, so it's something I have to like apply in this quadrant, blend it out with the sponge, apply here, blend it out with the sponge. So that's, a little tedious, but I did receive this in PR, and I really wanted to give it a good go so I could tell you guys my thoughts, and those are my thoughts. So far, I have 3 uses on this. I'm sure I will have both foundations rolling out by next month, if not before. And then the other foundation that I am working towards 10 uses on is my CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. I have two shades so I can mix them. I have shade 20 light and shade 50 medium tan, and I just mix these together to make my perfect shade. I do like this foundation actually, and I've been pairing it with my other primer that I'm panning, which is the liquid putty primer from e.l.f. So I do really like that combination. I don't really love this one over the Power Grip primer. It's a little too much for my oily skin. But so far, and I'm just counting these as one product basically because I used them to get my perfect shade. But so far I've used these 3 times. So again, I'm sure those will be rolling out next month. All right, now we're gonna talk about the 3 products that are rolling out today or have rolled out since the last update. Starting with my MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in the shade Double Gleam. This was a little tricky to use during the summer. It's quite icy. I did use it as an inner corner shade quite a bit. I also applied this like before foundation a couple of times just to give a glow to the cheek, but without having this iciness that would kind of look like a stripe. So I feel proud of myself actually that I was able to do the 10 uses and not just use it for an inner corner. And I definitely would say there's some disturbance to the surface of the product, which is also nice to see. And then the last product that had rolled over to this project from my 2024 project, goodness, is my Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Fair. You're gonna see I definitely got my usage on this one. Again, I use a metal spatula and put this on the back of my hand, and then I pick it up with this dense angled brush, which is actually a foundation brush from NYX, and I pick it off of my hand, and I had such a much easier time with this doing it that way. So now I feel like I can actually work on this, reach for it organically, and I'm really happy that I was able to meet my goal on that. And then lastly, the one that I met goal today is my Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush Duo in She's So LA. And I really have gotten some good use on this. The embossing, you can barely see it there, but it's not raised anymore. And then I have a nice, a nice little dip going on in that cream. So I was very happy and glad to roll this into this project and get so much concentrated use on it. So we do have 11 products still in the project, but several of them are so close to rolling out that I feel like I want to roll in a couple of new products. And they're new products to me, not just new products to the project. And they're products that I really want to develop my thoughts on. And so I think for today, the ones that we will roll in will be these 2. I had picked up a little while ago. This is the Pixi On The Glow Super Glow Highlight Moisture Stick. And this is in the shade, where does it say it? Ice Pearl. I've been really wanting a white highlighter to just sort of highlight right here on the cheek. While I've wanted to get the Rare Beauty one, I saw this and I thought this might be nice. Number one, I don't have very many cream highlights in my collection, so this is not a concerning category for me to pick a product up in. So I'm happy about that, and I want to roll this in again for 10 uses. And then I did treat myself the other day because I have now hit pan on 3 or 4 bronzers this year. I think I've hit pan on 3 powder bronzers. I also have completely used up a cream bronzer and hit pan on another cream bronzer. So I treated myself, and I'll just quickly show you. It's not enough for a haul or anything like that, but I did pick up another one of these Fat Oil Slick Clicks in the shade Clout. It's just a light pinky shade. You can barely see it there, and that's exactly what I wanted. And then I also chose this MAC Skin Finish Sunstruck Matte Bronzer in the shade Light Rosy. This has been on my wish list for years. I love MAC, and I don't own a MAC bronzer, and I don't need any more glowy bronzers, so I went with the matte formula. And then lastly, the one that we're rolling in today is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand, and this is in the shade Pillow Talk. And I kind of bought it because I am currently panning Hourglass Mood Exposure, and this is similar to that, and it's a blush tone that I really love on myself, so I'm excited to get 10 uses on that one. So that is it. We have 2 products rolling in, 4 rolling out, 1 declutter. Lots of movement in this project in the last month, but it's kind of like a shot my stash for me, except for it's more effective in me getting actual good uses on the products. So that is all for today. I hope you're having a great week so far, and I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days. And I will see you in my next video soon. Bye.